Hello again. I'm Dr. Margaret, and my camera just seems to love to go in and out of focus, but here I am. I'd like to talk to you about the second spiritual age. I've been talking about this now for several years, but it seems to me that there aren't many people who are talking about it, so I thought I'd share it. Actually, when we look at the first spiritual age, what we're looking at is our growth from being cavemen and women all the way up to the end of the Aquarian Age, where we've been learning about ourselves emotionally, mentally, physically, in economical, artistic, and agricultural styles. And of course, over the last century, we've become very technical. So the overlap here from agricultural to industrial and then into technical was a time period of letting go of the first spiritual age and moving into the second spiritual age. The thing about the first spiritual age was it took so long. In fact, so long that we can't really remember much about what happened all those hundreds of thousands of years ago. But with the second spiritual age, there's a difference. We are all coming into body, into form with spiritual awareness. In other words, we're psychic. And the thing about being psychic is that it allows us to retain a tremendous amount of knowledge from our life. It also allows us to tap into our past lives and, even better, tap into the Akashic records of our world and the things that were created by us in the first spiritual age. Now you might say, I've never heard of this, or you might say, oh yes, I already know, depending on what you've been delving into throughout your life. The paranormal world of many activities has many sections within it, and the bottom line is a lot of people will say you have a vivid imagination when you talk about your memories, as well as insisting that you lived in the past. So if you've been talking to deaf ears, don't waste any more time, because they're not ready to listen. But those who are listening are beginning to say, well, if you've lived in the past, then I must have lived in the past too. And if we've all lived in the past, then we must have learned a lot of lessons. And if we've learned a lot of lessons about our life and our existence, then surely we should have a lot of wisdom emerging from us in the second spiritual age. And that is true. But of course we can't see it yet, because we have a lot of mess to clear up from the last age, the first spiritual age. What is that mess? Well, it's abuse and misuse of the earth. It's over-farming, under-farming in some areas. It's starvation for some people. It's water deluge for other people. It's cold weather changes versus hot weather changes. Yes, this world is shifting too. This world that we live on is changing. Now, some of us talk about 2012 and the devastation that will happen, and only the chosen few will rise up and be saved, or lifted to heaven in spaceships, or have angels appear somewhere. Well, who knows, perhaps that could be true. But I like to say that this is actually the time when those younger people will take over this new century. These younger people will begin to say, hey, I'm psychic, I have inspiration, I can see new ways for us to conduct our society, where we can all be educated, we can all be fed, and we can all integrate our races in ways that allow us to be in harmony. Now, of course, that sounds like the absolute blessed heaven that we all want on earth. And of course, many people will shake their heads, no, 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 it's not going to happen. We've got Egypt uprising, we've got Turkey in trouble, we've got all Israel, countries around, Israel threatening and so on, and Egypt look and so on and so on, even down to Yemen and Saudi Arabia. So what is really happening over there? Well, we have tradition, we have their religion, they have their philosophy too, but look at their tribal consciousness. They've hung on to it. They've said it really matters which tribe we belong to. And if our tribe doesn't get along with that tribe over there, then we have to be worrying about some issue. Well, that kind of thing has to go, I'm afraid. I'm not politically minded. I'm not into who is right or wrong. What I am into is getting people to realize that this is the breakdown of the past. This is the breakdown of the first spiritual age. And it's also the dawning of the second spiritual age, when the young ones are rising up and saying, what worked for you in the past doesn't work for me in the future. They're rising up and saying, we want new leaders, we want new organizations, we want new structures. Here in my own country, in America, we are saying we want better politicians to represent us, we want better health conditions and more money. Well, that's one thing to say what you want, but are you ready to open your mouth and say you will take on a job that is responsible, that you will take part in the running of your country, that you will go out there and feed the poor, that you'll take time to give your old clothes to someone in need, someone on the street? Are you ready to say that instead of having a full meal, you're ready to give half of it away to someone else who needs it? Are you ready to go cook some dinners in the soup kitchen? Are you ready to be a teacher and teach these people how to lift up their self-esteem, self-worth and value? Because it is the downtrodden who need to be lifted up. That doesn't mean that we have to be all religious. It doesn't mean that we have to make them follow some rules or regulations that philosophy and theology has shoved up our faces. What it does mean is being brotherly, sisterly. What it does mean is recognizing that everyone in your country is a sister or a brother who may or may not need help. The strong ones can lift the weak. That's what was taught to us by many philosophers. The strong ones can lead the weak. But why do we need the weak? Well, we need the weak to test the strong, and we need the strong to test the weak. And when we find a balance between the two, we will merge those weaknesses and strengths into a sense of knowing just what is right to do for all of us. So I'd like you to think about yourself as a new spiritual ager, a new second spiritual ager, someone who is coded by your own spirit to look for new ways to do things. Now, whether it's technology and computer work, giving programs of awareness and inspiration to young ones, or actually going out there on the street and teaching the runaway kids, or the down and outs, the miserable, the people sleeping in their cars, or at the soup kitchens. It's getting involved and sharing in your community. If you're willing to do that, you're going to find there will be a tremendous amount of love coming back to you, and a tremendous amount of support from people in the media. You may have noticed already that the media is very, very quick to get hold of stories. They want something to make you go, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. And then they're very quick to sensationalize that, to judge, to condemn people who are doing something they're trying to do well. We've had the nature of destruction in the first spiritual age, and we have to get out of that frame of mind. We have to stop digging up people's history and throwing it in their faces as though it's a terrible thing that they did when they were young, and just wash away all their skills and wisdom that they've acquired since that time. We need to appreciate that we all learn the hard way, and that we can forgive ourselves and we can forgive other people for making mistakes, and that we can look at them now and say, hey, you've become something great from what you were all these years ago. What do you have to share with us now? What are your plans? What are your ideas? Teach me. Show me. Help me be a better person for my experiences. So I'm asking everyone out there to listen to this video and send it on to other people. Click like and tell people on Facebook and Twitter or wherever it is that you've listened to me, and help me spread that little seed of awareness that we all need to see ourselves as one and the same. Whether we have lots of money or no money, inside our hearts we feel. We feel the pain of the world. We feel the pain of individual happenings. We do share those shocking things. So how about sharing some gorgeous things, some beautiful things, some wonderful events, like a marriage, like a new birth of a child, like the creation of a wonderful building that people can come to and share their knowledge and wisdom. Don't just wait for a church to be built. Build some universities, build some colleges, build some places where people can come and learn from you. Even if it's one room, start a learning group. Let's help the children of our future build a better world to live in. And to do that, we need to give them courage, strength, power, all the things we've acquired in the first spiritual age. We need to give them that so that they can go on with strong beliefs that they too can go on to build a better world to live in. Carry our dream into the future so that through technology and through life sharing, they will learn to integrate whatever skills and talents they have and build that place where everyone is safe. So once again, please share this. So until I see you again, I hope you've enjoyed this journey into what may be for you an unknown world. Bye.